So last week I posted a video entitled Life is Easy, Life is Good. And on a weekly basis I'm going to try to post a video just giving my thoughts about my own journey with spirituality and life becoming easy, essentially. Just going from a place of frustration about life or a place of negativity about life into a place where you see things unfold naturally for you, and a place where you can actually enjoy life and love your life. So some of these principles I've just thought about or pondered about or learned over the years just from being introspective or spiritually considering things or reading certain books. And some of this stuff may seem new to some of you. Some of it may be what you've already heard. But I'm just trying to share my heart and hopefully inspire others to be able to experience a love of life and a natural enjoyment on a daily basis. So as I said last week, I was kind of going through some things. There were some financial issues. There were some relationship issues. And I was frustrated about those things. So I talked about basically our image of God, and whether that is the traditional religious image of, you know, the figure on the Sistine Chapel with the Charlton Heston voice, one of judgment, one of punishment, or just our image of God as love or God as spirit. And I kind of related that to self-love and how you feel like God feels towards you. Not the personality God, but more so the connection, the oneness, the stillness that you feel, the enjoyment that you feel from life. And what I wanted to talk about today was just extend that a little bit further and just kind of expound on what self-love is. So when I talk about our image of God or how we view God or how we see God, a lot of times that comes from either a religious story that has been told to us from the churches we attend or from our family's religious traditions. And those are all good and well, and I'm not speaking against those by any means. I'm just saying that if you find that your spiritual path or your relationship with God or whatever spiritual journey you may be on is one of frustration that causes you to always be in a place where you're seeking more out of life, or where you're not attaining what it is that you feel like would bring about peace in your life. And I have been there many, many times. And what has brought me to a place where I actually am at a place where I enjoy life, I love living, I'm ecstatic about life, is learning about self-love. And like I said last week, that has come from my image of God. So my image of God has changed from one of the story that I learned about God to one where I really truly experienced love. And not just a love like humans love us, where it's conditional, or where it's based off on how you perform, or whether it's based on your commitment or devotion to that person. And if you don't perform rituals, or if you don't perform certain expectations, then you're punished. I'm talking about a love that basically extends to all and to everything, and a love that is basically not exclusive towards any club. And not only that does it reach everyone and everything, but it also brings about a healing and an enjoyment and a peace of mind. So self-love for me is how I treat myself based off of my image of life, my image of my origins, my image of the Creator, my image of spirit, or my image of the source of all life, which a lot of people refer to as God. So self-love for me means when I make a mistake or when I do something horrible. I mentioned last week, I'm clumsy. I've been clumsy since I was a child, so I make a lot of horrific mistakes, from, you know, getting into car accidents, to dropping plates of food, to running into people, to accidentally punching people when I'm putting on my coat in an airplane. I've done it all. In restaurants and public places, and embarrassed myself. And traditionally, that has caused a lot of anger towards myself. Geez, you stupid idiot, you know, get yourself together. What are you doing? And a lot of times I've transferred that anger towards myself, towards other people, towards my family members, my daughter, my wife, my mom, my friends. If they do something to offend me, or even strangers, if they do something to offend me, a lot of that anger that I have towards myself gets basically reflected onto them. I'm not very patient with others. So the more I'm learning about self-love, in the sense that I give myself mercy. If I do something unintentionally, I can forgive myself. I can show myself patience and know that that's something that I can learn, and I'm not angry towards myself. So, and the reason why I relate it to our image of God, or our image of the Creator, is because sometimes, or a lot of times, that may come from our image of our spirituality, but other times it may just be how we treat ourselves. And if you find that you have a natural anger or frustration about life, there can be relief from that, and there can be basically peace from that. And I just want to encourage and inspire everybody who takes the time to watch this video just to love yourself and to love others. And that's a place of forgiveness. That's a place of having 3 essential principles that I try to live by, and that's having no offense. That means not being offended with anything of myself. Anything of myself that I don't like. Because a lot of times we self-loathe and we don't like so many things about ourselves, and we're trying to change certain things about ourselves. Show ourselves just extreme mercy, the mercy that we would show to an infant. Show that own mercy to ourselves. And then not only do we have no offense towards ourselves, we can have no offense towards others. If somebody even intentionally offends us, we'll be able to show that person forgiveness, constant forgiveness. If they cut us off, or if they cuss us out, or if they give us a face, or anything, to be able to show that person patience and mercy. And those things are possible for us as humans, I believe, as we continue to learn to love ourselves. And so there's no offense, and then there's no thought, which means that anytime you would have a need in your life, instead of worrying about how it's going to work out, to take no thought for it, to trust that it'll all work out, that your spiritual parent, just like your natural parent when you were a child or an infant, took care of everything. They clothed you, they fed you. Your spiritual parent cares for us too, and will take care of all the concerns that we have, and we can just fully trust that those things naturally work out. All those things I mentioned last week, they have worked out. My relationship issues have been reconciled. My money issues have been resolved. And not because I was thinking about them and trying to practice certain things or do certain rituals to try to rectify them. It came from a place of trust. And lastly, not only is there no offense or no thought, but there's also and also hold no grudges. And basically what that means is don't hold on to things to try to rectify them yourselves. Be able to let those things go. Be able to entrust those things. Don't have any walls up. Don't have any defenses. Don't have any self-protection or self-preservation. And a lot of times that's how we as humans basically live our lives. We experience a hurt or a pain or an offense, and then we try to basically come up with a remedy ourselves to make sure that that doesn't happen again. And when we're trusting our spiritual parent, when we're trusting our true nature, we're able to have no offense and no thought, and then have no walls. And just to kind of cap it off, to know more clearly what I'm talking about, the biblical scripture, 1 Corinthians 13, where it talks about all that love is. If your perception of yourself, your perception of God, and your perception of others is not all those things that love is, then you may be missing the mark some. We may have to change our perspective. This is something that I had to do myself, and I had to become aware of for myself. Just read those things that love is in 1 Corinthians 13. And if your image of God doesn't match that, then think about how the scriptures say God is love. Then God is all of those things. And not only is God all of those things are also apply to us as far as self-love and loving others, which is what all religion stands on. Religion is not traditionally what we have done as humans, which is ritual or piety. All religion, and it says this in the scriptures as well, all religion is founded on love. So I just want to encourage all of us just to love ourselves ecstatically, love life, enjoy life, and love others, and just be in a place of constant forgiveness. Just anything that would come our way that would offend us or that would be negative, just be able to easily let it go. Peace.